Hi, my name is Jake. This is my son Jacob. We have reviewed the last 3 movies in this MonsterVerse, and now we're going to the newest one, Godzilla Vs Kong. This movie is out in theaters, and it's also on HBO Max. He and I saw it in a movie theater because, like, in my personal opinion, these giant kaijus deserve the big screen. I don't really want to watch this at home. Of course, rewatches are fine at home, but the first time, I definitely want to see it on that big screen. And I haven't really been super excited for a movie that was coming out since probably Spider-Man Far From Home. So it's been quite a while. This the COVID situation has really delayed most movies. So I haven't really had much to look forward to. So I really wanted to see this, the full movie theater experience, popcorn, big screen, loud sounds, everything.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that movie was nothing compared to anything of the others. It goes past the highest rate.
Yeah, this movie, out of the 4 movies we've gotten so far in this MonsterVerse, this is without a doubt the best one. This movie is directed by Adam Wingard, who directed a horror movie that I really love. But this movie beats that horror movie and as I said, all the monster movies by a long shot. This movie did justice to all the characters, both monsters, Godzilla and King Kong. These are 2 big, well-known characters that have, diehard fans of both. But this movie did a really good job of kind of giving both of them their own little moments and definitely their own story arcs, and everything with those characters really did work. Millie Bobby Brown returns with her father, who is played by Kyle Chandler, and they are pretty much as far as I can remember, the only reoccurring characters. But they have a pretty big part. Millie Bobby Brown, since the previous King of the Monsters film, has become a diehard conspiracy theorist when it comes to these titans, and she's kind of like her mother, just fell into this obsession with them, and she has a great part in the movie. I always loved Millie Bobby Brown, and she was a lot of fun in this movie. Another character in this movie was played by Rebecca Hall, and it's funny, the whole time I was watching this movie, every time she was on screen, it was bugging me, and I was trying to figure out where I'd seen her from. And it was Iron Man 3, which I'm a huge, Marvel fan. So remember, I was trying to figure out where she was, I'd seen her from, and I knew it was something I loved, and yeah, it was Iron Man 3, which took most of the movie to remember. So, with these characters, this movie definitely had characters that were more likable than King of the Monsters and the 2014 Godzilla film. The characters were much more likable, but with that being said, they're still not as likable as the characters from Kong Skull Island. In my opinion, those are top-notch human characters. These characters are a lot of fun. The Millie Bobby Brown's character is much more likable than what she was in the previous film. I think it's just growing up and growing into her own person a little bit more in this movie, and she was a lot of fun. I loved her in this movie. It seems like the only active titans right now in this film are Godzilla and King Kong, and they have Skull Island kind of just in this containment wave. So King Kong's kind of just stuck on Skull Island, which is kind of in this containment, and he's clearly not happy about that. But they're kind of trying to figure out how to use him to their advantage, because Godzilla is seemingly attacking innocent people for the first time. Every other time that he's came out and done damage to the world, it's always been because he's kind of been protecting the world. So it's not like Godzilla to really be hurting innocent people. But of course, with a plot like this, there's more to it than just Godzilla's not nice. King Kong in this movie is pretty much the heart of this film. He's got this connection with all the native people that he kind of protected on Skull Island and Kong Skull Island. All of them have been killed by a storm that was on the island. The only one left is this little girl, and he takes care of her, and you can tell that they have a connection. And she's great. Their connection is a really strong part of the movie, and just King Kong clearly feeling not part of this world is a really nice touch that I didn't think was going to be as moving as what it was. But how did you feel? How did you feel for King Kong in this movie? Did you feel bad for him?
Yes.
Yeah, it's you definitely he's definitely the character. He feels more human than even the human characters in this. He's got seems like King Kong has a pretty big heart, and you can just tell that I don't know, by the end of the movie, you just really hope that King Kong can be happy. The human characters in the film are trying to go to this. Basically, it's kind of the Hollow Earth. It's kind of a world inside of our world. That is pretty much their journey for the whole film. They're trying to get from here to there, and that's like another reason that they need Kong. So like pretty much they're using Kong to try to get to this open world, and then they need Kong to, seemingly like, they're trying to get him to like pretty much like, they're trying to, at the end of the day, they're trying to keep Godzilla from, causing all this damage, and just trying to figure out how to like coexist with these titans. And the story really is like, I think the best out of these MonsterVerse films so far. And like I said, the characters aren't I don't enjoy them as much as I enjoyed the ones from Kong Skull Island, but they definitely beat all the characters from the previous two Godzilla films. Ken Watanabe's character in the last two Godzilla films still stands out, but outside of him, really, like, all these characters are better. Even like Millie Bobby Brown's much better in this film than what she was in the previous film. And of course, as I say with all these movies, the stars of the film are the giant kaijus. And in this one we have, primarily Godzilla vs Kong. There's also one that we see, which is Warbat, which is one that we've tried to find the action figure for forever and can't find. He's in it briefly. We also see one of the skull crawlers from Kong Skull Island. There's also a couple other surprises, which they didn't really show much in the trailers. I don't really want to say, thinking that it might be a spoiler. So I won't really say anything about that. But yeah, I feel like all the monsters kind of got their shine and definitely got their moments. And overall, like, I don't know, I thought it was a fantastic movie. It's way better than it really deserved to be, I think. It was a lot of fun, and really the most fun that I can imagine having in a film like this. As far as a rating go, what would you give it?
Fantastic!
Fantastic, yeah, I agree. I'm going to give it a fantastic. Of course, this is just like, for the most part, disposable fun, but there is a lot more heart in this movie than really what I would have expected from a monster movie like this. Like, Kong really, like, carries the film, and he's really the big, honestly, he's in the film more than Godzilla is. He really carries the movie, and like he really puts a lot of heart in it. And like I said, all the human characters are better than the previous two Godzilla movies, and all the action was amazing. So this was like, I don't know, there's not much I can say. It's a lot of fun. It's on, like I said, it's on HBO Max. But if you get the chance, I would see it in theaters, because I think that makes this experience way better. If you've seen this movie, let me know in the comment section how you felt about it and what you want from these MonsterVerse films going forward. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll be back with more videos coming up. For right now, we're kind of done with the recent Godzilla and King Kong films, so we're thinking about going back to some of the older movies. We're thinking about maybe starting from the original and just kind of moving forward. So that's definitely in the plans. But that kind of does it, I guess, for the non-spoiler section. So if you haven't watched it, kind of come back for the later half of this video. But, well, I guess we'll get into spoilers next. Spoilers in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you haven't seen it, please leave now. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, so spoilers. First of all, one of the new monster that we see in the film that I've never seen in one is Warbat.
Yeah, and also those bat things in the cave that Kong went into. Right,
yeah, there's some bats, these like bat kind of things. I don't know what they are. They're crazy looking. And then Warbat is, it's kind of crazy. We like figured that maybe Warbat would have a little bit more time in the movie, because Warbat, they have action figures and everything in them, and Warbat's in the movie like 5 minutes. Kong pretty much just kills him, and then that's it. And that's all she wrote for old Warbat. But then the other character, which we've not seen any toys of, or I haven't anyway, is Mechagodzilla. This Mechagodzilla kind of seems a little bit less advanced than in the older movies, like less like sleek design, I guess. How did you feel about Mechagodzilla in this movie?
He was awesome.
Right? Yeah, so that's kind of like the climax of the film is them, Godzilla and Kong, once they kind of, make amends, they face off against Mechagodzilla. And what did you think about that fight?
Godzilla and King Kong made a good team.
Yeah, they made a great team. It was awesome watching them fight Mechagodzilla. And then one thing that kind of led up to Mechagodzilla is something that was teased in the previous one. King Ghidorah was the villain in the previous one, and this shady organization had King Ghidorah's brain and like his head that Godzilla had decapitated. And in this one, it seems like at first Mechagodzilla is being controlled by one of the men in this organization, But at some point, King Ghidorah seemingly had its consciousness kind of takes over Mechagodzilla. So pretty much it's like the rematch of King Ghidorah versus Godzilla in this film, and that was a nice little unexpected thing that was a lot of fun, and it was like I thought it was pretty clever. And of course, with our T-shirts, we were going into it hoping for a certain kaiju to come out victorious, and Godzilla and Kong fight twice in the film, and who wins both fights?
Godzilla.
Yeah, the second fight is kind of broken up into like a two-part fight, so
it's kind of three.
Yeah, it's kind of three fights, but like the first fight is on the water, and Godzilla unquestionably wins the fight. You know, that's like more Godzilla's territory. Godzilla, you know, is an aquatic creature, and very obviously, like, you know, he's got the advantage there. So he beats Kong in that, which is kind of an unfair fight. But then in the next fight, the first half of it, Kong beats Godzilla, and but that kind of gets turned around because then Godzilla gets back up and just takes Kong down. There's like no doubting that Godzilla won this fight. Kong's like on the ground, unable to like fight anymore. Godzilla's got his foot on his chest, and he just like puts out a big victorious roar in King Kong's face, and it was pretty awesome. Like it's funny because like watching these movies, when it's like King Kong's by himself, you know, in his movies, I'm like super into King Kong, but like compared to Godzilla, there's just no competition. So like, you know, when they're fighting, I'm definitely like I'm all for Godzilla. But they were a lot of fun, and like I said, like they both kind of got their shine. Like obviously, like Godzilla won the fight against Kong, but in the final battle against Mechagodzilla, King Kong is the one that kills Mechagodzilla.
With Godzilla's help.
Yeah, with Godzilla's help, King Kong gets a weapon in the film that's an axe. And what happens with the axe?
Godzilla powers it up and it kills Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, the axe kind of can absorb Godzilla's like atomic breath. So Godzilla shoots his atomic breath into King Kong's axe, and he uses that to take out Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla, his whole thing was pretty cool. They used a power source from that hollow Earth where you know the Titans seemingly are from. They use that to kind of bring it to life, and then of course King Ghidorah's consciousness is inside of the Mechagodzilla. So that was a pretty crazy combo, and like that fight at the end was a lot of fun. And like, but they destroyed the city though. They were just like bashing each other into buildings and everything. What was the thing that stood out the most to you in this movie? Warbat. Yeah, Warbat was in a small amount. Maybe we'll see more of Warbat. We also saw one of the Skullcrawlers for a second.
Skullcrawler didn't stand out, but Warbat almost killed Kong, so...
Yeah, the Warbat was pretty brutal on King Kong, so that was a lot of fun.
He almost killed him if it wasn't for the people, because he's a lot bigger than Kong.
Right. You know, it was also like another cool thing about Kong in this movie was he knew sign language, which reminded me a lot of Rampage and George. He knew sign language in that film, and like I thought that was that was definitely something I thought about while watching the movie. And it was cool seeing him being able to like talk to the little girl and like talk to the other humans a little bit. And of course, like, you know, Kong's a very intelligent creature. Of course, he would be able to figure out how to do that. So that was a lot of fun, and I was I don't know, I had a pretty good time. What about you?
My favorite scene had to be with the axes, the 3 axes in the Mechagodzilla.
Oh yeah, there was like these axes like in that Hollow Earth. There's like the axe. They kind of made like the kind of like the shape of Godzilla's back. It's hard to kind of explain what we're talking about, but it was kind of cool. The axe was a nice addition to King Kong. In the old films, the Godzilla vs Kong film, King Kong could randomly like just shoot electricity out, and that was really dumb. That was like, yeah, they were trying to make him more on Godzilla's level with electricity, but I thought it was pretty lame. This, however, the axe was awesome. The axe definitely like worked wonders for King Kong, and like I hope the axe sticks around. That would be fun to see in the future.
Wait, didn't Kong technically put it down? Because I think Godzilla told him to.
Yeah, no, he put it down at the end, but that was just kind of to show that like the fight was over. Yeah, so but yeah, it's the movie was exactly what we wanted. We definitely wanted Godzilla to win, which he did, and Mechagodzilla was a lot of fun, and they teamed up against him, and the whole thing was just a lot of fun. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's it for the spoilers.
And the only thing that made this movie better was.
Yeah, well, I mean, this movie could have been a little better. I don't want to spoil anything, but Jeff Goldblum's not in it. So that's hurtful. But you know, they still have time. They can bring him into the next one, Godzilla vs Kong Part 2, Jeff Goldblum edition. So yeah, but that's it. Really, I don't have really much negative to say outside of that. So that's it.